Hi everyone, my name is Alice Yen. I am a senior here at Duke, and today I'd like to talk to you about a new species of people. So every year I come back to Duke's campus and I have these conversations with close friends and classmates who have just spent the last few months of their summers building wells in South America, fighting for human rights in Asia, and curing neglected tropical diseases in Africa. We all know them. They're those people who speak and are fluent in 7 foreign languages, captain 3 varsity sports teams, have mastered some obscure hobby like beekeeping or trapezing, and are somehow always ridiculously good looking. These are the super people. And more likely than not, in one way or another, you are one. You see, a few months ago, I was reading the New York Times, and I came across this article written by this man named James Atlas. And he was talking about this new species of super people, our generation of super people. And he made some absolutely fascinating points. He talked about how unequal access to opportunities has further widened the rich-poor divide. How universities have become businesses set on packaging students instead of truly building and developing them. And how in our generation of super people, kids these days, they aren't going to summer camp to get down and dirty and go wilderness camping. They're off building houses in ex-developing country and saving the world one plane ticket at a time. Now these acts, purely speaking, are absolutely admirable and in many ways add value. And all of these points that James Atlas speaks of are fascinating and definitely worthy of further conversation. But today, what I've decided to focus on is one particular point of James Atlas's. And that point boils down to the bread and the butter. You see, I really love to bake, and I really love baking loaves of bread. And as many of you know, when you take a fresh loaf right out of the oven, it is piping hot. And you've got to let it cool down before it reaches the right temperature, in which case you can add butter and enjoy that first crunch. Now us super people, our generation of super people, we're like bread. We undergo these hot, intense, transformational growing experiences. And by the end of it all, we need to take time to cool down. Or really, we need to take time to slow down. You see, our generation of super people, we've developed this culture of what's next. We're always thinking further instead of taking time to digest what we've really been through and what's now. And I myself, I'm personally guilty of this. I went through elementary school with sights on middle school with sights on high school with sights on college. And then I hit Duke's campus and I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do with myself? Because there was no longer any set predefined path of what's next. And instead, there were all of these incredible opportunities and possibilities to choose from. And it was overwhelming, but in a good way. It's just like when we're baking bread. There are so many choices to choose from. We can use wheat or white flour. We can make banana bread, zucchini bread, or chocolate chip. Now these choices that we face when we're baking bread, it's just like the many incredible opportunities that we face every day here on this campus. We're asking questions like, which incredible class should I take? Or which fascinating student group should I join? Or if it's even a question, which awesome basketball team should I root for? Yeah, that's right. Now, most of us aren't facing questions like, do I have a meal to feed my family today? Do I have enough money to keep my electricity on? Do I have access to quality health care? So I'm originally from Raleigh, North Carolina, North Carolinian born and raised. Yeah, all right, North Carolina, okay. I've been really fortunate to conduct fieldwork research here in this great state of North Carolina and also abroad in places like in Europe and Southern Africa and the UK. And I've been able to come across so many different people who face this diversity of questions every day. But what I've come to realize is that all of these questions, they really boil down to this very basic idea of what is it that I want to do with my life. And in thinking about that question, I've really grown in the past several years, past few years, if you will, and I've been able to think about how do I really answer and reach the answer to that question. And I've grown to realize the importance of three things. And those things are evaluating and reflecting on what we go through every day, and also recognizing how incredibly fortunate we are. And what I've come to realize is that it's such a personal reflection process that entails so much reflection internally, and it's continually changing as an internal process. And I've come to realize how it's so much about not necessarily fulfilling the expectations of our family and friends, but more so thinking about what is it that we want to get out of it. How is it that we want to lead our lives? And how is it that we want to make change on this world? So every day I ask myself, what is it that I value? Is it personal relationships? Is it building a career? Or is it making an impact on this world, whether it's in our local community, domestically, or on a global scale? So I invite all of you to soak it all in and spread all that butter on. Now, what do I mean by that exactly? I mean taking the time to embrace what's now and reflecting and living intentionally, living on purpose and living with intention. Just like that loaf of bread that comes piping hot out of that oven, let's take time to cool down, embrace what is now. Let's not to get caught up in this culture of what's next, but instead do as poet Walt Whitman said, and take time to loaf. Thank you, and thanks, Tech.